Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipresent, and the Omnipotent, who also has the divine names Sahasrara Murdha, Vishwatma. To such a divine Lord, together we offer our humble salutations with Shraddha, Bhakti, and Prapatti to seek His grace, His mercy, His blessings, His love, His compassion, His forgiveness, His strength. O Lord, please bless all of us with your divine qualities, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, only and only to understand thy true nature and have the aparoksha anubhuti. And at the end of our lives, bless us that we reach your holy feet. Om Tat Sat. Today, by God's grace, we are on our Divine Discourse number 278, the 19th of April 2022. Swasti Shri Shubhakrit Nama Samvatsar, Uttarayan, Vasanta Rutu Chaitra Mas, Krishna Paksha Tritiya, Anuradha Nakshatra, Vyatipata Yoga, and Bhadrakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday, and the time of the evening, we together make a firm resolve, na ham karta hari karta, hari preranaya, hari prityartha. Whatever is happening to us in our lives, every situation, every occasion, every incident, every circumstance is all happening only and only at the behest of the Divine Lord, to uplift me from this ocean of birth and death. I accept all that is happening with prasada buddhi and face everything with a smile. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Good evening once again to all of you. A very warm welcome. Please come. So, hopefully we'll complete chapter 13 today. The Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Vibhaga Yoga. Now, as we all know, that this particular chapter is the beginning of the Jnana Kanda of Bhagavad Gita. Now, after having prepared us to a large extent, now here Bhagavan Sri Krishna is taking us to the next level. He is straight giving us that divine knowledge here. So this happens to be, the last 6 chapters happen to be one of the most critical and important concluding segment of the Bhagavad Gita, and for that the 13th chapter happens to be the kickstart. So in the last 3 summary revisions, if you all have seen, now all the 3 questions of Arjuna have been answered. The 3 couple questions: what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Jnana, what is Jnaya, and what is Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So till the 3rd revision last class, we studied up to verse 21. We'll just go a little back, a few steps back. That is, I'll now again start from verse 19, where the Prakriti and Purusha question commences, and then up to verse 26 the Lord talks about Prakriti and Purusha till 25, and thereafter he gives in bold statements, he talks about his divine nature. So we will understand this. So this happens to be concluding and a very important session. So please pay attention and try to grasp as much as you can, because this is something what, as we say, we are in ignorance. This is that knowledge which is imparting over here. So let's try to get this. Okay, let's start. So in verse 19, he talks about Prakriti and Purusha. Understand them to be unborn and beginningless. Okay, Prakriti is Maya. So that Para Prakriti and Kshetrajna constitute to be Ishvara, who is Nitya and Anadi. In simple terms, if I have to tell you, all this what we are seeing is nothing but a reflection of the Lord. That Parabrahma, his own reflection. So he has got 2 levels. One is Para Prakriti, the higher level, That is Purusha and also called as Kshetrajna. That higher awareness, what we can say. Okay. And the one step below that is Apara Prakriti, which is what we call as Maya, Trigunatmika, or these vikaras, these changes. All this what we are seeing is the Apara Prakriti. Okay. Now we are trying to understand how this whole existence has come into being. How the existence has come into being, and how we as living beings and other non-living beings and all other species have come into existence. So all the effects and the specific properties are purely born from that Prakriti Maya. So this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, which is the chapter we are going to study next, Trigunatmika chapter. So there, all these Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are expressed at the level of the mind and are in terms of Sukha, Dukkha, Chetana, Ichcha and Dvesha. Okay. Now, in the matter of the causation of the Dehendriya, it is Prakriti. In other words, Karya Karana Sangata is created by Prakriti. I hope it's not heavy for all of you, because we have done this at great detail. I'm now just giving you dictums, straight sentences which are packed with that substance. So the Karya Karana Sangata, complex of the body, mind, senses, they're all created by Prakriti. Okay. Now, what does Purusha do then? Prakriti and Purusha. So here they say, Purusha is the hetu, the cause. As we have a cause and an effect. So the cause is the clay, the effect is the pot. So Purusha is the cause and Prakriti is the effect. Okay, so this Purusha, who is the cause, now he transforms to become Bhokta. Now this is a very important aspect which is happening, where the Lord himself, through his own creation, he has become so many things what you can see in this entire universe. Now what happens? He forgets that he is the Lord. He now gets into a anyonya dhyasa, meaning an unholy union with this body, mind, and this entire complex what he himself has created. He gets entangled with that. And getting entangled, he forgets his real nature and he becomes the Jiva. He starts getting that Jnatrutva. Jnatrutva means that knowing. He becomes a knower of what? Everything what he sees. He says, I am seeing, I am, then Kartrutva, I am doing, I am eating, I am taking, I am giving, I am going, I am coming. All these things that he himself is doing. So this is that Anyonya Adhyasa. Anyonya Adhyasa is that unholy union which happens. So Purusha and Prakriti, they become responsible for this samsara. Samsara is this Jiva Bhava Chakra, what we call. So understood? Now Lord himself, he reflecting with his own awareness, that Chaitanya Shakti, what he did now? He created this world. And having created this world, various beings, in that he is now the resident of that as Purusha. He forgets that his true nature and he becomes the Jiva. Now earlier Kshetrajna was spoken of in all its glory as the Brahma Tattva. Now it is spoken as the Jiva. Now how does this Brahma Tattva become Jiva? It is only an adhyasa, it is illusion as a Jiva Bhava. This is what has happened over here. So till this point we studied last time. Let's go into a little more detail on this Jiva Bhava. I had given the example of the mirror, the reflected face, and the true face. Let's get this once again straight. Okay, now I'll take you through this. How did this Anyonya Dhyasa, or this wrong understanding of this Kshetrajna, this Purusha, who is the Lord himself, how did he become a Jiva? Okay. At the prima facie, what we understand, there is only one pure consciousness, which is that Parabrahma, that power, that strength which exists in the entire universe, and that is known as Chaitanya. Okay. Now, through Maya, what happens? It has now appeared as Ishvara and Jiva. Who is this Ishvara and Jiva? The divine lords, the devatas who are there, and each one of you, me, everybody. Okay. And now this interplay of this Ishvara and Jiva, a world is created. With that Prakriti, Purusha, now this world is created. Now what is this Jiva? What is this Purusha? They say it is a combination, an error, a confusion between the Chidabhasa and Chit. Chit means pure consciousness. Chidabhasa means reflected consciousness. So we have to understand this carefully. Meaning I am not aware of myself at all as the pure consciousness. Are we aware? Now, let alone the distinction. See, in our own state of error, we are not even aware that there is such a thing. Ask anybody else who has not studied Vedanta or these scriptural texts. They don't know. They don't know that there is something known as Chit, there is something known as Chidabhasa, meaning the Chaitanya Shakti and this reflected consciousness. What we are all aware that there is a body. That's what we have our personal experience. Go back before the Vedanta study. That we are a body, we have mind, we have senses, and there is some kind of sentient being. We feel sentient, we feel conscious of everything. That's all. Now, this is known as the reflected consciousness. You got it? This is that reflected consciousness which is there in every Jiva. Now this mixture, now we are coming to the metaphor. There is a mirror. Mirror here is compared to the, no, I'll not go further. Let's just say there is a mirror. There is you who is standing in front of you. This face is standing in front of the mirror. And what you see in the mirror, you see a reflected face. So now this mixture of all these three, the real face which is you in front of the mirror, the reflected face of you in the mirror, and the mirror, this is the unholy union. And this is the Purusha. Prakriti is what? That which has created. Now this Purusha, the creator, he having got into this, he has mixed up. So as long as we stress on the mirror and the reflected face, you are in samsara, that is the Jiva. Very vital points. This is what we need to get. Because this is where that Jivatva and Paramatma Tattva, you are detaching from Paramatma Tattva and getting attached to Jiva Tattva. How? You forgot your real face. And you are thinking that that reflected face is that true face. But when you negate the mirror and the reflected face and say this meaning this person in front of the mirror, you say this is my real face, you are free of samsara. Bucket, water, sun up above. Sun is reflecting in the bucket of water. As far as you don't feel that you are, that reflection itself is the true self. But if you look up and say, I am that sun, I am not this reflection here. till you are in that bucket of water, till the time you feel that you are that reflection, you are in samsara. But the moment you look up and say, this is just a reflection, my true self is that sun up above, then you are free of samsara. So just like that, as long as we think we are that reflected consciousness in this body, in mind, we are in samsara. We are bound to be affected by the world. We are bound to be affected by the body, and we are also bound to be affected by the mind. Very difficult to come out of it. But when you negate this confusion, when you cut that there is no link at all, what links me and the mirror? Nothing. I'm standing in front of the mirror, there is an image. I'm just looking at the mirror, that's all. I am in front of it. What is the connection between you and the mirror? There is no connection. You are just a reflection. So in the same way, what is the connection between this pure consciousness and the reflected consciousness? That real you and the person, you in the mirror, there is no connection. I would be stupid to think that I am that reflected face, isn't it? Just think. If somebody, you're standing in front of a mirror, and if somebody asks you, who are you? You show them that reflected face and say, I am this person. You are stupid actually. You are not that reflected face. That real you is the one who is standing in front of the mirror. But I cannot see myself. Let's take the eyes of the example. Can you see your own eyes? Nobody has ever seen their own eyes. They have always seen the reflection of their eyes. It could be in a photograph, or it could be in a mirror, or it could be somebody telling you and describing what your eyes are. But no one has ever seen their own eyes. In the same way, just because we are not seeing our own eyes, we think that that reflection in the mirror, that are my eyes. So we have to carefully understand. It is that Lord and Lord alone who has come over here. He himself is everything. Now this is the key point in the whole of Vedanta. We are all divine beings having a human experience. Not that we need to go somewhere, we are all thinking that we are human beings wanting a spiritual or a divine experience. No. It is that Lord and Lord alone who has forgotten himself to be that Paramatma, and he is behaving like a human here. That's all. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. Again and again is what the scriptures are saying. You are that, you are that. Now, according to us, what is our understanding? I, me, you, meaning what? This body, mind, conglomerate, what we are stuck in. So he says, no, this is just a reflection. Your true self is that Chaitanya Shakti. That is your true self. This is what we need to exactly understand here. So because of Purusha seated in that Prakriti, experiencing through the Karya Karana Sangata, means the body, mind, senses, Purusha has mistaken to be that individual. So it is the Lord himself has mistaken to be that individual. Now who is the Lord then? This Jiva, what I and you are experiencing now. It is that Lord who is now as a Jiva. So there is no you. It is that Lord alone. So this mutual superimposition, which is known as the Tadatmya Adhyasa, that wrong identification, taking yourself to be the Upadhis. So what he does, he enjoys, he perceives, he experiences, he goes into the ups and downs, and he becomes a victim to all the Sukha and Dukkha. The Purusha, he starts identifying himself with this entire body, mind, conglomerate, Karya, Karana, Sangata, and experiences joy and sorrow. Further stabilized, all his actions become vasana, and further he sets for a jolly ride to transmigration through various wombs of Sat and Asat, which means Sat means higher and Asat means lower animals, and he becomes a victim for this Papa, Punya and Mishra Yoni. So being born in this way, this Lord, now he has forgotten his true self and he has become the Jiva. So now you will understand. Tattvamasi means you are that, meaning again and again what? You have forgotten having come over here who you are. So this Prakriti and Purusha coming into an unholy union is called samsara. Because of the adhyasa, identification of Purusha caused by ignorance, and it results in samsara. Mana eva manushyanam karana bandha moksha eva. It is the mind alone which makes the Purusha having appeared as this Upadhi. So even though this Purusha, that Kshetrajna, is spoken earlier as samsari, it is actually asamsari. It is not a samsari. It is not in the cycle of birth and death. It is anadi, ananta, avinashi. Now it has become as samsari. So it is not a samsari, it is asamsari. So in and through the whole samsara, this Chaitanya is just an onlooker. It is upadrashta, onlooker. Anumanta, permitter. Bharta, one who holds, he nourishes everything. Upalabdha, meaning one who also knows. So since he is this way, he is Maheshwara and he is glorified in the Shastra as Paramatma. Another very important thing, what we need to understand is the expression of consciousness through the Upadhis. Upadhis meaning various forms, is called Chetana, sentiency. Consciousness all around the universe. The entire universe is in the consciousness. Consciousness is not within us. We are in consciousness. Okay. So when that consciousness expresses through an upadhi, meaning a form, when it expresses in us what we experience now, that awareness, that is known as Chetana Shakti. Now I'll answer Shweta's question over here. I'll just read her question and let's take it up. This is the right time to talk about this. Okay. So her question is, Guruji, in the 274th discourse, when explaining Chetana and Chaitanya Shakti, you said the ability to respond to stimuli is different from consciousness. How is this possible? One can respond to stimuli only if one has consciousness or they are alive. So how can a dead body have Chaitanya Shakti? Isn't it ejected from body along with the Sukshma and Karana Sharir? Now here the answer is, in every object of this creation, which is that Prakriti, you have Sat, Chit and Ananda. These are the prima facie aspects which are there in every aspect of the creation. But when there is a mind, when there is a sentient being, this consciousness, it expresses as Chetana Shakti. So when the body dies, the awareness leaves the body. That is, the Chetana Shakti leaves the body, but the Chaitanya Shakti is still there. That's what is exactly it's being told in this particular segment of the Bhagavad Gita. So don't confuse yourself. What we have is the Chetana Shakti, which is derived from the Chaitanya Shakti. So Chaitanya Shakti is that sun. Chetana Shakti is the reflected consciousness. I hope you got this. Okay. Now, what is the result of knowing this Purusha and Prakriti? Which means the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Now here Lord Krishna says Amritatvam. You just know this difference because you have forgotten yourself. You are thinking you are a human being. No, you are that divine being who is forgotten and become a human being. So the one who knows this Kshetrajna, the way it should be, meaning in this way understanding the Purusha to be Kshetrajna and knowing its modifications and properties. What are the modifications? The modification is, there is Satyatva, truth, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam for Purusha, whom we said is the cause. And Mityatva means illusion for Prakriti. With Maya, Mithyatva has come in, and you are seeing this entire creation in front of you. So Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahma Naparaha. One who knows this, he is liberated once and for all. He is never born again. Whatever, irrespective of whatever dharma, adharma, papa, punya, nothing touches him because he has exited himself from the jiva bhava. He has transcended the jiva bhava. Such a person's sanchita karma is completely destroyed. Agami is untouched as per the Shrutis. And where does the Agami go? We discussed in our Tattva Bodha class. All the punya which the jiva is doing, it goes to his near and dear ones, meaning whoever are in association with that person, who love him, who take care of him, it goes to them. And whatever papa, it goes to the people who are an hindrance in his life. So this is the Brahma Sutra. Ajnani, Sarvatma Bhava, Dharma, all this go together. So now what is the means to this knowledge? So the means here, based on the adhikari, meaning the sadhak's strength, the upasanas are prescribed in the next two verses, which was, now we have come to verse 24. Uttama adhikari, they say. Uttama adhikari, uttama sadhak. So there are some rare privileged souls who are restless. Restless meaning they want that viparita mumukshutva is there. Mumukshutva, to achieve that lordship, to achieve and become one with the Lord, they are always restless. So now they have come to a stage of nididhyasana. Three primary stages: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. In Shravana, you get to know. In Manana, you understand. Meaning, all the doubts which you have heard, in your process of rethinking, you have understood now. And now with that firm knowledge of understanding, where there is complete clarity, there is complete doubt-free situation, you are again and again telling your mind, and you're sitting in that calm state of grasping that knowledge. That is Nididhyasana. So who have come to this stage of Nididhyasana, and in themselves, in their own hearts, Atmani, Atmanam, in their own selves, here called as the Kshetrajna, Purusha, Paramatma, by their own selves, in the core of their heart, they have the Aparoksha Anubhava. Aparoksha Anubhava is, I have neither heard, I have got to know from somebody, but I have experienced it by myself. That is the Aparoksha Anubhava. Nobody need to tell me anything. When you are not well, if somebody asks you, you don't have to ask somebody and say how your health is. You will be able to tell how you are on your own. If you are happy about something, if somebody asks you, how are you feeling? You will not look at some gadget or somebody else ask and say, what should be my answer? You will spontaneously say that these are my feelings. So this is an Uttama Adhikari who has come at the stage of the third level, Nididhyasana. Now the Madhyama Adhikari comes in, who has gone through Shravana, who is continuously listening, and also who is trying to understand Manana, churning it, is properly understanding the Upanishads, that Chintan, what we call, he is doing that. But he is not able to do Nididhyasana. So they are at the level of Shravana and Manana alone. So now they gradually they rise to Nididhyasana eventually. So this is, they categorize them as the Madhyama. And the third one is Manda Adhikari, they say, who neither fall under the Shravana nor the Manana nor the Nididhyasana, but through their Karma Yoga, where they have just learned, I am doing it for the love of the God. I am doing it as my offering unto Him. So they come under the Manda Adhikari. So in this way, now we have categorized the three adhikaris. Now there is one more category, which is Anya. Anya means others. So they have a mere faith. Faith is their basic criteria. They don't know anything else. They are incapable of all the above means of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Karma Yoga. No. So now such people, through a worthy person, a noble person, they hear about this Brahma Tattva. And what they do is, one strong quality what this fourth category has is, they have tremendous amount of faith and bhakti. So with that sincerity and with that faith in the Shastras and the Guru, they completely, whatever one thing what is told to them, they absorb it completely. And that's it. So such devotees also can get the Amritatva. They can cross this ocean of samsara by just holding on to that Upadesha, what their Guru has made. And one of the biggest examples for this is, we all have heard of Nisargadatta Maharaj, who stayed in the Mumbai Andheri slums, Dharavi slums. Now, somebody asked him, you are uneducated, you have not studied the Shastras. Now, where did this knowledge come to you of all this Brahma Tattva, this Kshetra, Kshetrajna? Where did it come from? He said, see, my Guru told me. Now, this is a real factor. He said, my Guru told me that you are Tattvamasi. He told me, that's all. You are that Paramatma. Now, when my Guru has told me, I just stuck to it. I did not question it. I did not decipher it. I did not doubt it. I started deeply thinking, yes, that Lord is within me, that Lord is within me, and I and that Lord are one and the same. So in this way, when he got that realization, Aparoksha Anubhava, when he got it, then he was able to explain all that which is told in the Shastras. Because he stuck to that by faith. So now, in this way, the entire realm of the samsara, what we need to understand, is due to the ignorance of we considering the self to be the upadhis. What we have considered ourselves? That we are this body, this mind. We have our own set of problems, our own set of enjoyment, our own set of happiness. All this we have understood, and we think we are this. Now moving on in the subsequent verses. So now, whatever creature, embodiment, being sthavara, meaning rooted like plants, trees, shrubs. Now all these, the Prakriti, it takes you through various forms of life. That is what the Gita says. Now this is in dictums, as I told you. Now Gita is given in dictums. Now what I'll do is, I'll just take you through these last 8 verses. We have made a fine, I have to make a recording. I have made my understanding on this, where these entire 8 verses where the Lord is talking about this divine knowledge, we'll make a brief recording of about 4 minutes or so, which we call it as the steps to realization or steps to mukti. This next 26 to 34, what the Lord is explaining to us, I made it in a brief. Now that I will tell you, and eventually in a few days time I'll make a recording and I'll give you. Now what I suggest to you all is, this has to go deep into your minds. That is nididhyasana. So you come under the Uttama Adhikari category, okay? To become a Uttama Adhikari category, it is not very difficult to understand also. Now when I tell you, you will understand. You have to just soak it in your mind, and the best time would be while you're going to sleep and when you get up. That is known as a theta state. Theta state where the electrical impulses in your brain is at the lowest level, meaning your grasping capacity is at the highest. It is somewhere between 4 to 7 cycles per second. So during that state, this is when you're about to go to sleep. So you can just play this and you can sleep off also, there is no issue, but allow it to go into that deep state of your mind. And when you immediately get up, see, you must have observed what comes to your mind when you get up is your deepest problems, or what is hindering you the most, that comes to your mind. Don't get into that. Allow this knowledge to take the basic foundation of your entire mindset. So now here what the Lord says is, all the movable and the immovable you see in existence is by the union of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Very simple. Anything you see in this world is because of that cause and effect. Cause is the Purusha and the Kshetra. Purusha is Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. Now, that Paramatma accompanies each and every Atma which is present in all beings. And understand that Atma and Paramatma are both imperishable in a perishable body. Be it the body of a human, an ant, an insect, a bird, a fish, a worm, be it in anything. This Atma is accompanying. And both the Atma and the Paramatma are imperishable. Now, Paramatma is equally present in each and every soul. Now, these are all dictums, okay? He says they are equally present in each and every soul. So, all actions are performed by Prakriti and not the Atma. This is one of the very important aspects. Now, when we are performing, what we think, I am doing it. Now I am talking, you think I am listening. No, it is the Prakriti who is doing the actions. And this Prakriti, behind Prakriti you have your Jivatma, and also you have the Paramatma within you. So all the diverse living beings are a part of one Prakriti and are born by that one Prakriti which is created by that one Paramatma. Such Paramatma who doesn't have any beginning, who doesn't have any material qualities, this imperishable Paramatma, although he dwells in the body, he neither acts nor he is tainted. The example here is electricity in your house. Various gadgets are functioning. By the functioning of those gadgets, electricity does not wear. There's no wear and tear for electricity. Nor any damage happening to that equipment does not create damage to the electricity. So in that way, this Paramatma dwells in the body, but he is not acting. Each and every part of the body does the action what it needs to do. When electricity passes through a heater, it heats water. When it is in a fridge, it cools down. When it is in a mixie, it mixes things. So likewise, electricity does not do anything, but it is the cause for each and every action. So just like space holds everything but does not get contaminated, same way the soul, the Atma, although pervading in the entire body, does not get contaminated. See, this is what we need to understand. So just as the sun illumines the whole universe, same way the Atma illumines the entire body. In this way, the one who perceives with Jnana Chakshu, eyes of knowledge, this subtle difference between Kshetra is, now you all know, body, mind, senses, which is Vikari. Vikari means always changing. Which is Jada, means it is one day it is going to die. Which is momentary, meaning it is not there all the time. And which is destructible, meaning eventually you will see it in ashes. And who understands Kshetrajna, the Paramatma, in this Kshetra, in this body, mind, senses conglomerate, who understands this Kshetrajna as Nitya. Nitya means always there. As Chetana, which means who is giving this power to this entire body and creation. Who is Avikari, there are no changes in it. And who is Avinashi, who is non-destructible. And also those who understand that all these actions which we are performing are performed by that Prakriti itself. Such a person will attain that supreme Parabrahman, Paramatma. This is what we need to see. I can think of a metaphor actually. See, we all have understood how an aircraft functions. Everything in the aircraft is so systematically designed that I was told that if you put a coin on the runway and if you design the aircraft to land on that particular, hit that particular point on the runway, it will precisely hit that point in the designated manner. So now what the pilot thinks, oh, I am driving this aircraft. Yes, no doubt he is there, but entirely it is designed by the aircraft itself. In the same way, we are body, we think we are doing so many things, but don't you see how your entire system is functioning? We have spoken so much about the glory of the body. We have spoken so much about the glory of the universe. See what is happening. There is somebody who is doing most of the things, and we think that we are doing everything. We are only interfering in the function of this body, mind, but actually speaking, we are not doing anything. So this has to be our understanding. You have to let go all that I-ness, minus. I, that big I, my, me, where you always say, I am doing. Get rid of that. And think that you first of all are not there. This is an illusion which you have created by yourself. Then who is there? That Lord alone, he has become this Jiva. So first you get out of that Jiva Bhava. That's what the Lord is again and again saying. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. You are that, meaning what that? You are that Paramatma. You have forgotten, here you have come and you have forgotten your original nature. Your true self, you have forgotten. This is what he is saying over here. This is awakening, and it is actually transforming. This is that realization what we need to get. And we have to soak our mind again and again. Tell yourself again and again, you are not this Jivatma, you are not this Jivatma. And then you can one day see that that thought process what you are doing, it becomes conviction, which will take you to the highest level. Okay. Now with this we have completed the entire chapter 13. Now next week we'll start with chapter 14, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Gunatraya is, we have three qualities. One is the sattva, goodness, rajas, activity, and tamas, dullness. These are predominantly, all the three are there in everybody, but in different ratios. But all three are there. And at each point of time, each guna, it is at a hiked up level. Like for example, if you want to rest well, then you should have maximum tamas. Otherwise you won't be able to sleep well. If rajas is active, a portion of rajas is also active during the tamas state, then you will be all the time dreaming. Because there is activity going on. Rajas is activity. So the more tamas is there, you are able to sleep well. And same with goodness. When goodness is there, then what are the benefits of goodness? All that Lord Krishna has said. Now he says this is the final door of your prison. You have to cross this door. And there he explains that each and every jiva, be it in sattva, rajas or tamas, however good you are a person, you are still in prison. You are in bondage. So ensure you have to move out from that goodness and to reach the Paramatma Tattva. All this is, he explains in a very beautiful way. So we'll take up, and this is the last stage, as we said, to release ourselves from the prison of bondage. We'll understand that during the next week. Till then, if you all have any questions, you all can please post. We will take the questions and maybe then start the new chapter, or do it during the ending sessions. Okay. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Now let's do the Shri Vishnu Sahasranama. Now we are on verse 24, 224 and 225 this time, today. Agranir Gramani Shriman Nyayo Neta Samiranaha Sahasramurdha Vishwatma Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. Sahasramurdha, 224. One who has endless number of heads. All living creatures are his manifestations, and he himself is the one who has become the many. See, such a beautiful coincidence what we are learned today. Sahasramurdha. He is that one who has become the many. Therefore, all heads are his. Just as in a factory, the proprietor or the owner of the factory, he considers all the employees as his own hands. So here the term Sahasra means innumerable. 225 Vishwatma, the very soul of the universe, the very inner essence in all living creatures. This is Vishwatma. I'll take up the other three because these are also very important, where what we just now discussed at the end of the 13th chapter is all on the same lines. Sahasrakshaha, 226. In describing the macrocosmic form of the Lord, we have an endorsement of this declaration in the Bhagavad Gita. So he says that he is everything in this universe. How? Sahasrapat. In the Purusha Sukta of the Rig Veda, the same terms are used in describing the infinite form of the mighty truth. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. The Purusha is 1,000-headed, 1,000-eyed, and 1,000-footed, meaning the many heads, many eyes, many legs, they together indicate that through all these equipments of thinking, which is head, of action, which is leg, of perception, which are the eyes, the thinker, the doer, the seer, that one infinite consciousness expresses everywhere in all forms at all times, and he is that Lord Vishnu. This is the mystery of creation. It is Lord and Lord alone. If we can't understand many things, just understand everything is that Lord and Lord alone. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmana Para. That Brahman alone is Satya. This Jagat, Jagan Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. Whatever you see, Jagat, all the forms, living, non-living, the entire creation, all this is an illusion. Jiva Brahmana Para, both are one. They are only expressing in different ways. That's all. So there is no you, there is no I, there is no me. You have to say it is Lord and Lord alone. First, don't say that it is me, Lord is me. That will not get into our mind, because our mind is very well aware of what is the meaning of I and me. Just say that the Lord and this Jiva is one and the same. That one thing is enough for us to get out of this whole samsara. Now let's read the Dhanvantari mantra thrice. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. We offer our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari and seek his blessings for good health. Now, let's do the Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana. So what we'll do is, I'll send the recording before the next class. And during the class also, we'll combine it with the meditation, so that at one point of time, when we are in the deep state after the Antarika Shabdanuvit, then Drushanuvit, Savikalpa Samadhi, so our mind is at almost at the state of, you can say that theta state, which I said, which we are in when we wake up in the morning or before going to sleep, where you're completely detached from your body and mind. So during that time we will play this recording as well. So let's target that. And of course, you can also listen during the other times during the day. The more you listen, that knowledge will get embedded in you. It's up to you. When you're doing meditation, when you're doing a lot of jap, your mind is very calm. What it needs is calm mind, that's all. Okay, that way. Come. Please be seated comfortably. Relax each and every portion of your body, especially that which is not comfortable. Bring it to a comfortable state. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Take a few deep breaths. Relax your mind, your body completely. Now, Antarika Drishyana Vitsavikalpa Samadhi. In this deep state of your mind, focus on the thoughts of your mind. Without being judgmental, be a witness to the thoughts and allow the thoughts to pass. Visualize the thoughts, the number of thoughts slowly reducing. This is how we train the mind to absorb this divine knowledge. Now the next level, Antarika Shabdanuvitsa Vikalpa Samadhi. With the power of the mantra, Jnana Shakti, and the power of breathing, Kriya Shakti, Our mind is completely in the present moment, engrossed in the awareness, the Chetana Shakti. So, hum. So, hum. So, hum. Merge your identity with the awareness. This entire body, mind, senses, awareness are all that Paramatma and Paramatma alone. Relinquish the sense of I. Now transcend yourself from this body, mind, senses, awareness, and become one with the consciousness which is enveloped the entire universe. Antarika Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where you are devoid of your mind, your body, your senses. You are that pure consciousness. You are not in even this awareness. You are not this reflected consciousness, but you are that consciousness which is reflecting in this body mind. And that consciousness alone is the truth. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That consciousness alone is Sat, Chit, Ananda. That consciousness alone, becoming Prakriti and Purusha, has created the entire world and its beings, living and non-living. So become aware of the awareness. Become aware of your body, your mind. Become aware of where you are seated. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Rub your palm, place them on our eyes. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Together, we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord. Seek His grace, mercy, and blessings. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om